I'm Amber. I was baptized Lutheran and raised in a more non-denominational Christian type household. Lived in South Dakota, rural South Dakota, on a farm for the first part of my life, and went through some traumatic stuff as a family, and we uprooted and came to Minnesota. And then that's when I got confused about who God really was, and if He was so great, why did I have to go through what I went through when I was a child? And with those emotions, I began to rebel. My parents were still very loving, and yet I still rebelled. So a rebellious teenager, didn't try and break too many rules. I had 4 older brothers who set that for me, so I knew what not to do. I still ended up pregnant at 17, young mom just before my senior year of high school. Went PSEO off to college. Her dad was a little bit older, but he had a drinking problem, and so I learned what I didn't want to become. I drank here and there every once in a while, but it was nothing too crazy. It was an unhealthy household, to say the least, and so at 18 years old, I moved my daughter and I out, and we were on our own. Next thing I know, I'm bringing another baby into this world, all on our own. And I was still angry at this God, like, where are you? I keep going down these paths, and you're not steering me down the right one. Well, He was always there, I just wasn't letting Him lead. So we fast forward a couple more years. I meet a man who takes in both me and my now youngest, and we get engaged. I think, here we go. Here's the man that I'm gonna love for the rest of my life, and before we know it, we're pregnant and I have a third on the way. Became a stay-at-home mom. Graduated with my bachelor's degree in criminal justice with an emphasis in psychology, but decided to stay home and not utilize it. I'm not an at-home person. I lost my identity. I was dealing with feelings I didn't know how to navigate, raising 3 kids, and treading territory I'd never been to, and had no idea how to do it, and was still angry at God. And I found relief in the bottle. Next thing I know, I'm a full-fledged alcoholic. Can't go without drinking. Wake up in the morning, I need a drink. Lunchtime, need a drink. Dinner, need a drink. I could not physically function without it. 2017, I went to my first treatment. Tried to get sober, tried to give it to God, tried to let Him come in, tried to fix my marriage. Didn't want to give it to Him, wanted to keep control of my life. Thought I was gonna have it together for a little while, would stumble and fall because I'd take that control back. Couldn't figure out how to stay sober. I was doing everything I was supposed to do and I could not figure it out. Well, didn't give it to God. So decided to find a treatment center that was God-centered. Went to Adult and Teen Challenge, June of 2022, and that kickstarted my journey with God. And when I got out of Teen Challenge, I was feeling good about everything. I was excited, and that was at the beginning of August. I had gotten out of Teen Challenge, and about a month later, my mom was diagnosed with cancer. That was one of the hardest things I had to hear. I immediately thought, that's it. I'm gonna lose my best friend. And got mad again at God. I remember sitting there questioning, like, really? Like, I just got done pouring my heart out to you in Teen Challenge, and I thought we were buddies. Like, I thought we were gonna do this together, and you hit me with this, right after I get out. And I did what I was good at. I went to the liquor store, went and got a hotel room, and I drank for 2 days. And, I had talked to my mom during that time, and my dad, and, my support team that I had around me for sobriety, and they were all saying, what are you doing? You're gonna die. You need to this, and you need to that. And I didn't want to hear it. I was stuck in I'm gonna lose my mom, and what about me, and how dare you tell me what I'm supposed to do? Don't you feel sorry for me? And I don't know what it was, but I passed out. It's what I would do if I drank too much. And when I woke up, it was like I had a conversation that wasn't I don't know. I had a conversation with God, but God wasn't physically there with me. At least I didn't think he was. And it was very clear. You know, she's not going to do this alone. You're going to do this alone? Have her do this by herself? You're her daughter. You are her best friend. What are you doing? What are you doing in this hotel? Like, we're going to do this. We're going to get through this. You know, maybe not those exact words from him, but that's the feeling I had, you know? And then it just clicked. And I called my mom and I said, Mom, come get me. Take me to detox, take whatever I gotta do. And she was tired of me. She dealt with it for years. She didn't want to come get me drunk again and take me somewhere in hopes that I was gonna stay sober when I got back out. But I did. Because I finally had enough, you know? How dare I sit there and think about myself when this woman was gonna battle for her life at no choice of her own. You know, she didn't choose to have cancer. She was diagnosed in September. December, my mom and dad were looking for a place to live that was one level because she couldn't do stairs anymore. Kyle, my husband, was living with us at the time, and we moved him into a 1-bedroom apartment down in Bloomington, and she continued treatments and things were going good. She had a scan and they said, you know, looked like things were gonna be fine. And then they weren't. She took a turn for the worst. She passed away March 8th, 2023, about 6 months after she was diagnosed. But I was able to be that daughter. I was able to be that mother for my children. You know, this woman had helped raise my babies when I couldn't. But I was able to be there, you know, help with the appointments before my mom passed away. And now in this moment of her, you know, going to go be with God, you know, I was able to show up the way God wanted me to. And, you know, I didn't have that feeling of being angry. I was confused. I didn't understand, you know. And I continued to go to him and talk to God. And, you know, we pray for him to heal the sick. And he did. He healed my mom's body. He brought her home. That was healing her. She had trauma. She had, you know, chronic pain from arthritis, fibro, this, that, cancer diagnosis. He called her home. He needed her. That was his healing for her. And so I made it through my mom passing away, and I didn't drink. We celebrated her life, and I didn't drink. You know, my daughter broke her ankle and needed surgery, and I didn't drink. My dad had a massive heart attack. I didn't drink. I planned a wedding with my best friend, and we got married on August 19th, and I didn't drink. Today's her birthday, and I'm not gonna drink. And I have 530 days sober. Because if I wake up in the morning and I say, God, send those army angels to fight this battle for me because I'm not strong enough to do it on my own, I see the next day. And that was the missing piece I had. That was it. So as long as I hold that hand and I keep praying and giving it to him, whatever it is, it goes to him. Lord, I don't want this feeling, you have it. Lord, I'm dealing with this today, I don't want it, you have it. How do I get through this one? Man, if people knew how much I talked to that man, they'd think I was crazy. But it's not. He's the peace. God, welcome to my home.